get it together. I'm gonna be ready tonight. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Solid Logic. All right, today's topic is episode 3, and we're going to be discussing teachers' mental health, specifically teacher burnout. This is a topic that's been a pressing matter for a while because it's not vividly addressed with other parties. Teachers are supposed to be these robotic people in order for them to get the job done and get everything done, and teacher burnout is real. And it happens more frequently than what people expect for it to happen. Um, defining teacher burnout, more so looking at teachers who are overwhelmed by the workload that they may have, or overwhelmed based upon the regards of the level of expectation from administration, not receiving the support from administration, not being able to adequately propel themselves or move themselves forward developmentally because they're not receiving the support that they need or the lack thereof. Defining those signs is looking like when teachers are just like, look, I'm tapped out. Like, I really don't care what admin says. That board, excuse my fake, but that board, like, them lesson plans ain't done, but they'll get them. The kids is, like out of control. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just here. And increasingly that happens more times than often. And teachers don't necessarily want to get that way, but people have to understand that teachers are human beings. We're not robots. We're not people that can just put a hat on and be someone that you expect for us to be in an area or development area. We are there in order to support and enhance the academic learning levels of your students, of your children, of our students, because they're in our care. But what we don't want to be, is overwhelmed and stressed out and not feeling appreciated and valued in our everyday challenges. A lot of times students more so provide us with the appreciation more so by drawing us pictures or giving us little snacks or just giving us a general hug. Sometimes that honestly keeps me going more than what administration actually does for me. So that's really important. That love of your kids and this, that, and the third. Like sometimes when I'm feeling burnt out or my day is not as, going as well as I wanted to, I look at the pictures that I have from my students, like what they have taken out their time to draw me or whatever, and I have a collage of pictures because of my students' appreciation. Them writing little notes to me or drawing me little pictures or, just thinking about me. And sometimes that helps when you are feeling burnt out because that can be so inspiring because you know that somebody in that building actually appreciates you. So, um, statistics related, the more so teachers a lot of times get burnt out before Christmas gets here. I'm gonna just be honest with you. A lot of times by Thanksgiving, we already tapped out because we tired of them little. We in there with them. We got to deal with them 8 hours out of the day. They getting smart, talking back, doing this, doing that. Won't listen, won't sit down, won't do the right thing. You got to repeat yourself 1,000,001 times. Listen, we go in and we deal with things every single day, but that doesn't make us give up on our job. You know, we may take a day off, but we're not giving up on your kids. But yeah, dealing with that every day, that's annoying. And I know that comes along with the territory of being a teacher, but in all reality, it really don't. Because all you got to do is come in there, sit your little happy self down, do what we ask you to do, and you'll have a good day. Sometimes I have students that are like, "Well, what did I do?" or whatever the case may be like that. And it's like, well, you know exactly what you did. Like, why do I have to elaborate to you on what you did, knowing that you wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing? That's why you in trouble. So repetitively doing that every single day, and by the end of the week, you stressed. And people think that those little 2 little days on the weekend is enough, and Saturday is really the only day you get off, and sometimes that's overwhelming because you got so many things that you're trying to cram into that day in order for you to get it done, and then the next day on Sunday you got to prepare yourself to go back to work. Those 2 days we're grateful for, but a lot of times we need more days than that because we be tired. So, just statistically looking at things, like a lot of teachers, they really be burnt out by Christmas, honestly. And they be praying and hoping that, what's that, spring break and the summer get here no faster than what it is. But let me share something else with you. That time away from the classroom and that time away from our students, aside from us being burnt out, we miss them. We miss our students and remember reminisce, and we smiling at something they might have did or how they might have made us laugh or whatever the case may be like that there. And that's the glory of taking a break, because then you can reflectively look at what the kids did and how they made you feel, or what happened in the school year, or what you learned developmentally and able to take with you into the next year. The impact of COVID-19 really kids up. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Due to the fact of students weren't able to adequately prepare themselves for the next grade because they weren't getting that in person learning. And even though we had to take some time off because of the world pandemic, students lost out on that skill and those skill sets that they needed. So teachers like myself that's teaching third, fourth grade, where children were online, in those primary stages where they needed to be in the classroom, we those things show. Developmentally they're missing out or losing out or don't have the adequate skill set that they need in order for them to succeed. And I'm not saying that's all children across the board, but it's a good majority of them. They don't have the skill set that they need. You run into some children who can't even write their name in the fourth grade or write on a straight line. You know, so it's not more so the children's fault because they don't really know what to do and they had no experience on how to do these things. I really put the blame on the administration not being adequately prepared for COVID-19 and not being able to facilitate or coach teachers on how to developmentally pull what they needed out of those students while being online. And I know those things might seem unrealistic or unreasonable, but there was though it is teaching methods in order for you to be coachable so that you can teach your students on the skill sets that they need and challenge them in order to get that out of them. So I feel as though if there was something like that to happen again, there should be a plan in place where teachers and administrations can put that into full effect to whereas those students can adequately get what they need to get. And it doesn't feel different from being outside of the classroom because all the expectations for inside of the classroom, and even if you needed those skills, could have been done at home. So we have to plan adequately for things such as COVID-19, because let's not say that something like that is not going to happen again, and we got to go online again, and we never know. So we have to be open minded, and we have to be vigilant and being able to be adequately prepared in order for things to happen like that again. The strategies for self care. Take as much time as you need. Take them days off. Take them days. Take that mental health day if you allowed it, or whatever the case may be like that. There, take that little sick time. Take you a vacation. Book you a flight. Go get you a manicure. Go get you a pedicure. Go get you a massage. Go get you a facial. Read a book. Sit on the beach. Sit in a tub of cold water if you can. If that's relaxing to you. but do something in order for you to have self care. Somebody asked me not too long ago when I was participating in the AIDS Walk 2024 that what is it that I do to emphasize on what I need, giving back to so many people and giving, and you're not taking self time for yourself. And I had to reflectively think about that. Like, damn, I don't really be doing nothing, except for when I do set aside time and I want to do something for myself. So we have to consider what are we doing for self care, because we can't allow people to keep making withdrawals and there's no deposits going in. My aunt Jenny said that to me. We can't allow for to keep making withdrawals and there's no deposits. So, you have to deposit into yourself. You got to go get that little manicure. Got to go get that little pedicure. Take that little flight. Take a day off. Take two or whatever. But take care of yourself, because you can't necessarily be there for other people if you're not there for yourself first. And your mental health is the most essential thing that you need in order for you to really thrive in your career. If you don't have that, then how are you going to be able to adequately develop what you need in order for you to proceed on to what you know? And I know that some people are within their careers for 20, 30, years or whatever the case may be, like that there, but that doesn't mean that you aren't able to learn new things every day. You stop learning once you close your eyes and you leave this earth, or whatever the case may be, like that there. So every day should be a lesson to you and should be an eye opener to you, to where as though you are more aware of what's going on, instead of not dwelling on something on which you think is still taking place. So we have to be more aware. We have to be more diligent and vigilant in what we are doing. Building a supportive community. You need that support. You need that support from family, from friends, from, maybe not even a stranger on the street, but sometimes people that you associate yourself with that might be able to put a good philosophical thought inside of your brain that you might move forward with. Never be able to be so gratified or to be so big headed with yourself that you're not able to take advice and able to take things into where as though it can more so work for the betterment of yourself. Don't be afraid to take what people are saying and utilize it, because maybe those people have more experience than you. Maybe they might be a little older than you and they're telling you something that they know for themselves because they see it within you and they did it. So a lot of times you have to listen and be and build those supportive communities that we need. If it's friends, if it's family, if it's mom, if it's dad, if it's cousin, whoever. Have somebody around you that support and love you genuinely, to whereas though they want to see you thrive in what you are doing. They want to see you survive, not only thrive but survive. People, they want to see you thrive, but they don't want to see you necessarily survive, and people have to give people the tools in order for them to survive, because if you're not surviving, how are you going to thrive? It's no way. So build your self community. Take that time off. Listen to something inspirational. Fill yourselves with some delight. Enhance yourself and value yourself and know that you are worthy. So always, if you have that supportive community around you, no matter who those people are, you will always be successful in whatever it is that you're trying to do. But it has to be genuine people that want to see you do what you want to do in order how to see how you do it. That's the only way it's going to get done. Mindfulness and stress management skills and techniques. Look, listen, I'm still trying to get mindfulness and skillful techniques for my stress, my damn self. I ain't perfect. Um, so I say one of the skill techniques that I usually try to take is more so having a little herbal essence in the morning. Before I am leaving my home, taking that time to reflect in the morning, having me a nice cup of English tea, or something like that. Really get myself together and not trying to do too much, but adequately prepare myself, saying a prayer, in order for me to have a good day. Those are some of the things that I do in the morning in order for me to be successful in my day. It's hard, you know. By the end of the week, you tired. Look. So you try every day in order to have the right skills and techniques in order for you to really thrive in what you're trying to do. But it only comes when you have the correct skill set in order to do so. That falls back into place with the healthcare, with the self care. Um, Self care, it's so important because when you have self care, you're able to reflectively overcome those moments when you're overwhelmed. So I think those are the most important practices that you can really have, and that you can really implement and input inside of your work life and your work life balance, and be adequately be able to handle your job responsibilities and not be so overwhelmed in what you're trying to do. You know, everybody gets burnt out. Not teachers, but everybody gets burnt out. The mailman gets burnt out. The lunch lady gets burnt out. The janitor get burnt out. Shit, you gotta remember these is regular people. The Uber driver get burnt out. Shit, cause traffic is a bitch. I drove for Uber or Lyft or whatever, you know, and traffic is a bitch and people is a bitch and just trying to keep up with the grand, just the grand scheme of the hustle and bustle. You know, so you have to be mindful of how people are going about things inside of their life and inside of, who they are and what they're trying to do. Everybody deserves some type of appreciation. So mindfulness and just being aware of some of the techniques that you can utilize when you do become overwhelmed. Reflectively, just look upon the times that were good for you and look forward towards the weekend. That's what I say. And sometimes have a little libation and sometimes have a little urban essence when you get home from work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I said it. Work life balance. Ooh, baby. Let me let you know this, honey. I don't take no work home with me. Once I'm home, I'm home. Whatever's at work, it'll get done the next day that I'm there. Do not take no work home with you. Grade them papers at school on the clock. Don't bring that home. Whatever you left over there at that school, leave it right there at the door when you walk out of it. Do not bring that to your house. That's work life balance. Okay? When you know how to separate your home from your work. That's work life balance. Let's be realistic. I'm gonna just keep it all we a being with y'all. That's work life balance. When you know how to separate your school from your home. And it gotta be some separation. You cannot intertwine both of those into one. It's not happening. Because they're two separate entities. So there's no way you can interbind or incline or combine these two things together. Lead at the school and lead at home, and then have some middle ground. That's your balance. It's unbalanced in scale, but that's your balance. Because now you know what responsibilities you have at home and what responsibilities you have at school. And we walk out that door at 3:15 or at 4:15, or wherever it is you walk out of that door, you leave at that school. I wouldn't give a goddamn what's going on. At 4:15, if that bitch is burning down, you say hello to the fire chief and you get in your car and you start it. Okay? Yeah, that's work life balance. Yes, I said it. And when it's home that you deal with at home, don't bring to work because they ain't got nothing to do with that. You know? But learn how to have a balance. But that always goes back into self care itself as well. You have to have self care and you have to know mentally how to separate the two. Just all with unfrankness. Just being logically responsible for yourself in order for you to put yourself in the correct position so that you are doing the things that you need to do. That's the good work life balance. The role of administration. The role of administration is to keep your test scores up, keep your scores open, make sure you're adequately doing your job, making sure you're able to produce the scores that the school need in order for them to stay open, being able to professionally develop you, coach you, being able to put you in professionally development situations to where as though you can be a better instructor. And we know a lot of that is just okay. Administration is there to keep your doors open, to keep a paycheck coming, and to make sure those schools stay open for the children in the neighborhood. Let's just be honest. School administration is not going above and beyond for the necessarily things that you need. They're going to give you the basics, but you can't expect for a school that has limited amount of resources to be able to produce the things that they need because they don't have the adequate funding to do so. We have to be realistic about the settings that we are in and the goals that we are attempting to take with people so that we are able to adequately know that what we can produce and provide to our students. Because we have to be realistic and we can't provide this old idea or ideology about rainbows and fairies and marshmallows and all that like that there because we're just setting them up for failure. That's not what life is about. Administration is going to do their part, and if it's a good administration and good leadership, they're going to do an excellent part. But they're not going to go too far or too above or too beyond. And you just have to be honest with yourself about that. School administrations is in order for you to know that you're doing what you need to do in order to keep those damn schools open, so your black ass can have a job, and so where them people can have people to send their kids down there to the schoolhouse. It's not for you to go in there and think that you're going to change the grand scheme of things. It works for them, and they don't give a damn about what your ideologies are. Things that's going to stay the same way that they've been staying, because that's what works for them. So don't go in there thinking that you're going to change Rosa Parks, because it ain't happening, sweetie. You just got to be realistic with yourself. School administration is just that, administration. And if you want to know what it look like, look at our city government. They keep things in perspective to where as though it flows adequately for everybody, so everybody can be satisfied. But we know that's not the truth. So you have to be realistic about what school admin can do. Now, there are some school administrations that do a superb job at having and getting what their students want, and that's because they can afford to do so. Let me say that again. That's because they can afford to do so. If your school administration can afford to do anything or buy even the basic things or the basic text that you need, then you're not going to get it. And your school and your kids are not going to adequately get the things that they need. Like right now, I know for a school that I'm not going to say previously, a school that I know that doesn't even have reading materials that they need, and it's November. How is that possible? How are you saying that you are adequately the admin that's there for the students? You were hired to do the job, and this is the job that you're supposed to be doing, and it's not done. Something is wrong with that. Something is wrong that those children in that school do not have the materials that they need in order for them to grow. Shame on you. Get those kids those books, please. The importance of professional development. Professional development is good, but people need real in person coaching. What is all this you putting on a video and having us sit through these seminars and these symposiums and all this other, let me call it what it is, and we're not actually developing anything. You just spending money on people on something that you have to do to say that you did it. Let's be honest. People develop when we have real time in person development training. You don't get no damn development training from no computer program or no what's the face for 10 to 15 minutes. You need to have one-on-one coaches to go inside of the classroom and developmentally train those teachers. That's how you get develop professional development. You don't get professional development by sitting somebody auditorium for 2 hours and a half and talking to them about something they already know about. You know what I mean? If you want to really develop somebody, you can tell us how we can get more funding for our schools, how we can adequately really handle behaviors in the classroom. What are the next steps in the tier levels in order to get children the adequate support that they need, making it more efficient to get IEPs and 504 plans for students who actually need them. Let me say that again, who actually need them. Not for students that you feel as though think you need them. No, that students that actually need them. Getting the social support for students who actually need the social support in order for them to thrive inside of the classroom. Because there's no way that students should be exhibiting behaviors since the kindergarten, first, second grade, and they're up in the fourth grade and they're still exhibiting the same behaviors and nobody's doing nothing about it. Then the blame goes back on the administration. That's the importance of professional development, because developing is being able to say that we actually have an action plan in place and we're executing those steps of that action plan in order for that child to be better. And I know, it's hard to individually look at a student sometimes because you have maybe 300-400 students in a building, or whatever the case may be like that there. But if this is exhibiting behavior, and this is somebody that you had in your school for a long period of time, then there needs to be a plan in place. Professional development is being able to say that I'm able to coach a teacher because I have the experience to do so, and I know the success because of my test scoring and the success that I had with students who did not know the curriculum, who did not was able to be able to achieve the more so adequate learning level of the curriculum, but I was able to teach them the basics, and they were able to get it and thrive in that and take that further. That's real professional developing. That's being able to work with someone, being able to have one-on-one coaches with them, take them step by step in order to make their classroom better. Going in their classroom, knowing what they're seeing, what they're doing, and knowing how to development them in that moment. Not taking a plethora of teachers, throwing them in a room, and putting a goddamn screen in front of them and talking about professional development because you're not developing any goddamn thing. You wasting people fucking time. Let me be honest with you. You wasting time, and we ain't got time for the bullshit no more. People are passionate about what they do, and they passionate about their kids learning, they passionate about their kids thriving. That's not developing nobody, and y'all need to stop because y'all wasting people time. Seriously. I'ma just be honest with y'all. So the importance of professional development is having actual real coaching with teachers so they can develop inside of their classroom. That's professional development. Being able to put an adequate coach in front of them so they can learn. That's professional development. Being able to have realistic goals aligned that the teacher can hit within a short amount of time or within a long amount of time is professional development. But putting teachers in a room and putting a screen in front of them with some shit that they already know about, it's not professional development. Okay? Navigating mental health stigmas. My people. Y'all know who I'm talking about. My people. We got to get used to having some type of mental health awareness and being able to stop fostering this narrative into our minds that we're too good to seek out professional help. If you need help on is something that you're not able to get the correct or adequate amount of support on, then go out there and get it. There's nothing wrong with it. Your school is paying for it, your job is paying for it, and you pay taxes. So go on out there and get the help that you need. Let's stop this stigmatizing idea that black people can just handle things on their own because they cannot. We are human beings and we need help outside of what we're already going through. So let's do ourselves a favor. Get the help we need. Get the support system that we need. Get what we need. And stop all this idea that, just things are working out or whatever the case may be like that there. Yes, some of those traditions work for some people, but not all people. And if you're one of those people that need help, then get it. Because it's out there for you to get. And don't wait too long in order for you to get the help that you need. Get the help. Because it's there. That's why it's there for you to get. Stop this ideology that all African Americans are not adequate or able of getting help. Get the help you need. Talk to somebody. You don't have to tell somebody that you're talking to somebody, but talk to somebody. Because that person can allow you to unpack that eternal shit that's going on in your life. Talk to them. See how they feel about things. See how somebody else outside of your circle thinks about things. To where as though it might make sense to you. Not all things make sense to everybody. But maybe it might make sense to you. But talk to somebody. Get in there and see what somebody can help you with. And you don't have to let everybody know your business or what you're doing or what's going on or how things are going. Oh, I'm fine. I'm doing better. This, that, and the third, da, 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 da. And if you feel comfortable enough to share that information with somebody else, that's completely up for you to do. But let's get the help we need. Let's stop allowing ourselves to suffer in our own. Seriously, let's stop that. Because it's not helping you. Stop buying things to make yourself feel better. Because that ain't got no value. I don't give a damn how much you paid for it. It don't have no value. And it's not going to make you feel better. If you're feeling something internally, then go and talk to somebody so they can help you unpack your feelings. Yeah, your mom and your dad and your grandmom and your grandpop and my mom and me and Medea and all them people, they did something different or whatever, but you do something different. This is your life. This is not their life, and we're not living in those times anymore. And we have to be logical about how we are handling and dealing with ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Those things all go into one category. I think, in my personal opinion, because if you don't have any of those things in line, then you on the wrong path, baby bop. So burnout is real. Burnout is real, and teachers get burned out more than what people expect for us to get burnt out. More than what society thinks we get burnt out. We deal with a lot. We have expectations for ourselves, expectations for our students, expectations from our administrators, and expectations from our parents. That's a lot, baby. That is a lot. You got a lot on you. You got a lesson plan. You got to facilitate the lesson. You got to be able to know that children are adequately getting the lesson, getting the information, developing as students. You are developing as a teacher, as an instructor, as their instructor, knowing that, things that you're not working on, seeing the things that you're not seeing. These are the things to where as though, goes into how teachers get burnt out really quickly and really swiftly, you know? So we have to be mindful of the things that we're doing, how we're approaching teachers, and how we're going about it. And also on Teachers Appreciation Day, send us something, please. You know, we would like to be appreciated. We in there with your kids now. Send us a little bag of candy, a little candle, a little body wash, a little something, a little gift card from Wawa, a little Starbucks gift card. Send us something on Teacher Appreciation Day. Trust me, we appreciate you. And we love your kids. Well, I love my kids. They get on my nerves. They rock my nerves every day. I mean, be tap dancing. You could call it the goddamn nutcracker if you ask me. But guess what? I love my kids. They get on my nerves. I might cuss them out when I get home. But I love them, and I want to see them do their best. So even though I am burnt out, even though I do feel burnt out, even though sometimes I am exhausted by the end of the week, I still want what's best for your kids and our kids because they are the future. And we got to think about that. All right, so this is going to conclude my little segment on my third episode today here, ladies and gentlemen, of Solid Logic. The episode has been Teacher Burnout. And my final words is that, we just want to create a safe space for us to grow in. I know I said possibly a lot of things that might have been offensive or some things that people might not have agreed with. But I just want you to know the real deal. I don't want to come on here and don't want people to think that I'm not expressively saying what, how teachers feel. This is how majority of teachers feel. I ain't got to, look, listen, if you really ask them how they feel, they're going to tell you. So I know I'm not speaking for all teachers, but I know in some way, level, shape, or form, they can relate to me in some way, So let's do our best to appreciate our teachers and administrations, and let's do our best to be our best selves. So that's my final word for today. And that concludes here on Solid Logic.